Smithfield Town Council meeting, July 1st, 2024. Madam Clerk, can you start us with prayer and pledge?
Thank you for bringing us together today in a spirit of generosity. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. May we discern your will to unite in fruitful outcome. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad?
Here.
Ms. Hamilton?
Here.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Here.
Mr. Ogier?
Here.
Ms. Alves?
Here. Smithfield Town Council sitting as Board of Licensing Commissioners. Discussion by council vote or other action on mobile food truck license, DBA Slater Perk Cafe, Devin Massey owner.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
It's very exciting to be here with all of you. My name is Aaron Kenny. I am the half owner of Slater Perk Cafe. And my other business partner is Devin Massey. Unfortunately, he could not be here today, but he has been in contact with the town clerk, Tiffany, and should have been given all the information that you would need to confirm that we have all of our health licensing for Rhode Island approved. We have been approved for our fire marshal inspection, and that we are ready to move forward on businesses concerning our company.
Madam Clerk, is everything in order as stated here?
Yes, everything's
Okay.
And Devin, not Devin, I'm sorry, your first
Oh,
name?
Aaron.
Aaron, okay. It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m.?
Yes, miss.
Okay, and that's at the North Smithfield Ice Rink?
Yes, miss.
Huh. Miss, how wonderful. Haven't gone miss in a long time.
Yes, my business partner has been a part of the rec league there and
Okay.
has known the other people a part of that company. We've been in talks about doing that weekend.
Great, great. Okay.
All right, anyone else have any other questions?
Just why you want to limit yourself to just those days? Like, what if something comes up?
I would love to stay and be a part of you guys if you would like to have us. But I believe it's for a hockey tournament that's happening for those days.
Okay.
Okay.
So that would be the
Oh, I see.
catering event that we'd be doing.
Okay.
Great. I'll make a motion to approve Slater Perk Cafe, 83 Ferris Street, for hours of operation 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the North Smithfield Ice Rink.
You indicated, my understanding is just 3 days. Could you
It
indicate
is.
those dates?
Yeah, what are the dates?
It should be the 11th to the 13th. Hold on just a moment. I'll grab my phone.
Okay.
You mean July?
Yes. It's Thursday to Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
the 11th and 13th.
11, 12, 13, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's my motion, to include the July 11, 12, 13 dates.
That's a motion, and we have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Biragad?
Yes.
Ms. Hamilton?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara? Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Ms. Alves?
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have fun.
New business discussion by council vote or other action on setting tax rates for 2024 FY25. First one is public hearing. Someone like to make a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad?
Yes.
Ms. Hamilton?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara? Yes. Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Ms. Alves?
Yes. Would anyone like to speak during public hearing? Mike? We're going to time it for 3 minutes, okay, Mike?
Mike Clifford, 489 Black Plain Road. I wanted to know if the town administrator was still going to be recommending the rate structure that was in the legal advertisement for the adjustments, and in which the residential was taking a hit and the commercial and tangible were remaining stable. So could we know that? Because I'd like to comment on that if that is his intent.
Do you have a copy of what's proposed tonight, Mr.
No.
Clerk? No? Would you like a copy?
Well, what is proposed for tonight?
Well, I'll hand it to you.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hard copy.
So you're giving 3 options, okay. Then, and the tangibles is not changing at all?
Tangible stay the same.
No. It's always been my understanding that in a year of reevaluation, you are free to petition the General Assembly to approve a change in the tangible rate structure so that you don't have to adhere to the same ratios.
You can't change it, it's state law.
No, I'm saying, Mr. Igliozzi, am I incorrect in saying that the General Assembly can pass a bill to exempt the community from having to follow this old ratios in a year of reevaluation? Do you know of that?
Yes. They can do that.
Yes, okay, so that's what I'm saying. So did we do that? Did you do that, Mr. Zelinski?
I'll ask Mr. Zelinski. Mr. Zelinski, was that done?
Okay, so now we're stuck, and this year, you've lost 400 and some odd thousand in tangible revenue from the assessed values, and the other 400,000 is being written off. So that falls on the shoulders of the homeowners because you're no longer getting that revenue and you can't increase that tangible tax rate. Had you done what I suggested, which Mr. Igliozzi said was possible, then you could have adjusted the rate higher. So I'm sorry that we did that. I wish we hadn't have done that. I don't think it's fair to the taxpayer that, you know, everybody's taxes are gonna go up except for tangible properties tax rate. Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak during public hearing? Anyone like to speak during public hearing? Last chance. Anyone like to make a motion to close public hearing?
Make a I'm
You
sorry.
can call it.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Ms. Hamilton?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara? Mr. Ogier?
Yes.
Ms. Alves?
Yes. Next one is setting tax rates for 2024 for residential, commercial, and tangible.
So I emailed everyone today, but does anyone need a copy?
I have one here,
We're all
thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone's good? Okay. So just like I did last year, I think last year I gave 2 options or 3, I'm not sure. So this year, I'm presenting, I have 3 options for you. The first one shows that real estate and commercial are gonna go up 62 cents. The second option shows more relief on real estate, so it still will go up. Real estate would go up 53 cents, and commercial would go up $1.03. Option 3 is showing more relief on real estate. So more relief on commercial. So real estate would go up 66 cents and commercial would go up 40 cents. And as for the the tangible, due to the new state law with the exemption of 50,000 for everyone, we're gonna get reimbursed from the state, but in that law it states that the tangible tax rate can go down, but it cannot go up from the rate it was in 2023.
Does anyone have any questions for the tax assessor?
So for those who are watching and listening, what is the current tax rate for residential?
For residential
Yes.
is $14 14.246.
In commercial?
Commercial is 19.399.
And I did a little bit of work trying to look at surrounding communities, similar communities. We're in the ballpark for the residential. Have you seen anything that's, you know, that would be a red flag for us in terms of setting any of these rates, that they would be sort of out of whack with neighboring communities at this point?
I feel for option 2, I feel like that's a pretty big increase on one category.
In the commercial?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But with neighboring communities, I think these are all pretty fair options from the levy I was given and the assessed values we have currently.
Okay. Okay, so just for, if I may read, because I know we can't show it to anyone on there on the screen again. The current 14.246 residential rate. We have 3 options in front of us. We could raise to 14.861 from 14.2. We could raise 14.774 from 14.2. We could raise 14.906 from 14.2. That is on the residential. On the commercial, we have currently 19.399. Proposals are to raise that to 20.014 or 20.432 or 19.799. So there's a slight increase in each one of them. Okay, just wanted for the record. Yep.
And I just wanted to say, on option 2, yes, it is $1.03 going on to commercial. A lot of smaller businesses are usually a home office or a landscaping company that wouldn't really be in a huge commercial building.
Right.
So a lot of the commercial, it would be big stores that are leasing out that commercial building. So it is, like I said, it is a high dollar amount.
Well, it's a jump, right, from the previous year.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But they did see the $50,000 on the business side.
From the tangibles?
Yeah. So I just wanted to explain that one a little. I'm not saying I'm in favor of that specific one. I just wanted to explain it. So they're kind of getting a little bit of relief on the business tangible side. But then if they own that building.
So where would the smaller business fall into then? It wouldn't be commercial, it wouldn't be residential. Where does it fall? It would be commercial, no?
It would if they
Yeah.
have if they have an office somewhere.
Okay, all right, okay. So they could be in that commercial tax rate with the $1.03 increase, a smaller business, right, as opposed to a Walmart.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone have any other questions for the tax assessor?
The solicitor has a question for you.
I just wanted to clarify, the finance director brought to my attention that the new General Assembly passed a law 44.5.3-3, and that capped tangible tax at the 2022 rate, and the towns can never increase that rate again. And for 2023, the rate is disregarded, and if for purposes of this calculation, you can't apply it because you're getting the $50,000 exemption from the state, and then you get rate above that only as your 2022 number. So that's the new law, because the General Assembly doesn't want cities and towns to take the $50,000 exemption money and then increase the rate on the assessed property, of tangible property that's above 50,000 to kind of capture, because you are ultimately going to, this year you'll be held harmless, so to speak, but every year hereafter, you're going to be losing some money unless the
Right.
General Assembly gives you a raise.
Right, right.
Does that make sense? So your tangible, you're getting the benefit of the General Assembly giving everybody in the town $50,000 exemption, tangible tax, and you're getting the benefit of being reimbursed, but that rate is frozen, 22 rate is frozen for anything above the 50,000 from this year and every year thereafter. So every year that it'll be in the General Assembly, you'll have to make a case to increase your tangible rate.
Right.
So then,
So-
this rate here, is this the 23 tangible, or is this the
This is
22 tangible?
Right, this is the 2022 rate.
This is the 2023 tax rate.
So,
It
I
says
mean,
20
It's the assessment date, 2023.
Oh, okay.
Right,
I-
right, right.
Yeah.
But it's
We're all
the
correct.
tax year for
yeah, we just,
22.
I'm
Right.
sorry, I got tax rates,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
I'm just trying to answer the question about why the tangible rate cannot change. It can't change, and you can't get an exemption, you're stuck where you are.
we could have
Yes.
in previous years is what we're
Previous
saying.
years.
But with this new law,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
locked in, we get the reimbursement, but we should be preparing over the next few years for the loss of income, right, I think,
Well, there's two issues, right?
because.
Towns have gotten exemptions from all the categories in reval years as part of a reval, period. That statement is correct.
Yeah.
But could you have done it for this year, for tangible? The answer is no.
No.
That's all
no.
I'm saying.
But we could have
They're
done
two
it
different issues. There's two
previous
different
years
issues.
to change the outcome.
I'm looking at 44.511-8, section 2. And if that had been adjusted in the year of the reeval, the rate would have been higher. And subsequently,
Reval year,
right,
but this isn't a reval year.
No, I know.
Okay.
But I'm saying, it's been that way, it's been at this dollar amount since the reval year. We didn't raise it in the reval year, so it was not.
So we are talking
We're talking two different things,
Okay.
right?
You're not talking about this year, Mr. Clifford, you're talking about
Right.
reval year, previous year.
Yep.
That if it had been filed at that time, the rate
Okay.
would now be higher.
Yep, the council
And
definitely
then
had
the
that
rate
right.
would have been locked in at a higher rate.
Right.
as
Right, the
opposed to
council
what
definitely
was-
had a right to do that in reval year.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any other questions for the tax assessor?
So what you're suggesting, option number what? What are you suggesting?
She's not.
Because it's a non-reval year, I would suggest option 1, showing the 62-cent increase on both real estate and commercial, because it's a non-reval year, because it's not like I have numbers to say commercial buildings weren't selling, real estate sold, commercial went down, like assessment-wise. I would feel that option 1 would be a good option, or option 2, showing more relief on real estate, but then commercial will get hit.
Yeah, because for those who can't see it, the difference in the two, option 1 for commercial is $20.014. The commercial rate for option 2 is $20.432. It's very close, yeah.
But again, it's up to the council.
Mhm.
Jen, I have a question for you. What's
Yeah.
the real impact, and if you were to look at like a 400, I know we've done it in the past, you've kind of modeled it, right? A $400,000 home, like what is the significant impact of the two options or the three options? And then also you were saying that the tangibles are capped at 50,000, and so the rate, there may still be relief. Have we actually looked at if that statement is true? If there is a relief on an increase in tax rate versus the offset and the tangible that they don't have to pay? And like, what is the impact to the average I don't know, different assessed values you could pick, but for the commercial side. Because from what I heard, we're assuming that, you know, there's like the Walmart side of things, and then there's like the small local business. And so, do we know what the real impact is on those two sides?
I didn't do any research on that, but I do, not necessarily if you own the business or have a business, you don't own technically that, say, strip mall or
Right.
wherever your business is. So they might be leasing that. So it's kind of hard to say, to show that, because not every person that has a business is owning a commercial unit.
Right, but
They
if
would-
they sold that business and whoever owns it, right, I mean, then somebody looks to buy in, there's the argument, well, do they buy in? I mean, look at all the vacant buildings around town anyways that are commercial. I mean, that's a different argument for a different day, but, I guess I wanted to see if you had looked into what the real impact would be of any one of these options on like an average assessed value for the commercial side and the residential side. I know we've gotten it in the past, that's why I was
Yeah.
kinda curious.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. So we know before we're voting on an average, are we averaging like 400 or 450
So
for our average home in town?
a current average home is between 400 and 430 right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So I can do the tax, like based on each option, I can do the tax, take
Yeah.
that tax rate and times it by 450 or 430. And then you would see the difference between each option. And then as for the 50,000, so the 50,000 on tangibles is an exemption that the state's giving. So then you're still responsible. Say you have $100,000 in assets, you still have to pay taxes on that 50,000, but the rest is gonna become reimbursed from the state. But unfortunately, the number that we give them this year is the number we're stuck at year after year.
The rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tangible.
And the reimbursement rate from the state. So the tax rate will stay there, and the reimbursement dollar amount that we give them this year is stuck on that. I believe it's 430.
Yeah, it's like 400 and something, mid 400,000s. It's just like motor vehicle.
Yeah.
It's very similar to motor vehicle situation.
Yes.
Where we're stagnant. And I just, as of right now, we don't have any communication as to whether that number is gonna change, just like motor vehicle. So, that's what was put, if you look in the budget, you'll see, where that new on revenue was the tangible exemption that we're getting from the state going forward.
Do you need a calculator?
No, I was just seeing if I wrote down that number, but I
Okay.
could do it real quick. Hold on one, I can give you.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if I'm in favor of option 3.
Yeah, I would take.
So I'm gonna cross that one off my
Yeah,
list,
I
I'll
would
vote
take
no on that one.
right, so, while,
So the reimbursement from the state, for this year would be, for tangible, is 449,369.89.
Thank you, Jen.
okay.
So just for some historical data, if the council wants, going over the past 10 years, the rate has, obviously the assessments of the houses have increased dramatically, as we know. Residential rate, 10 years ago was 16.02. It's gone down. Of course, that levels itself off and you end up paying more because your house is worth more, right? Commercial, 10 years ago it was 17. Last year it was 19. And then obviously every 3 years we have our reval, and from what it looks like, the council will usually decide to give the biggest break on that year to residential, instead of commercial. So it looks like here, every year it's about the same from what the council applies in terms of the weight of how much we're raising the rate. And then on those reval years, the council will give the biggest break to residential.
Thank you.
So, just 1 second. 6125.
We're just waiting for residential impact right now, right, Jen?
Yes.
Okay.
So, on an average single-family home, I did it for 430,000. So with option 1, it would be about $265 increase in their yearly taxes. For option 2, it would be about $227 yearly. Was that all
That's
the
great.
questions?
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve option 2.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I'm just questioning this just because with sewer and water, there's gonna be some higher increases on the homeowner. That's the only reason I'm kind of thinking about option 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But what, you got the increase for $227 if you want option 2. What would the increase be for commercial with going with option 2? Oh, you can't, that's right. That's a stupid
Yeah,
question.
no, John, I tried to ask it, that's why, because there was like the difference with the tangibles and all
Right,
that, but.
Yeah, option 2 would be the less of the 2 impact for residential.
For residential, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're also getting impacted by the increased sewer and water rates too.
So regardless though, it's.
I'm sorry?
Not all the residents, just the enterprises.
I understand that, but I'm saying there's quite a few that are gonna be impacted.
507 of water.
Yeah.
So if you're considering, you don't want to hit the taxpayers on top of the ratepayers, option 2 would be your choice out of the 2. Yeah. Because with the way the system works and the way the weights work, with 150 and 225%, you basically only have these 3, but at this point 2 options.
Yeah, and that's another reason why it's tough because per the ordinance, I can't have commercial more than 1.5% higher than residential.
Yeah.
Administrator, which one would you recommend?
Well, it's strictly a council decision, Madam Council. That's your decision. You've been given the facts, the figures, you've had months to look at it. It's your decision.
No, actually, we've only
We
had
just
I
got
had
it
like
today.
5 hours to look
Yeah.
at it.
We just got it today, we haven't had it for months.
I'm leaning towards,
But, we don't have, normally, we'd like to know your opinion on it.
Well,
You're
you
closely
like
aligned.
Number 2, option number 2.
You like number 2 also?
Yes.
Mhm.
Any further questions or discussion? We have a motion and a second.
So that's, the question is that a big burden to put onto businesses, $1.03? Is that
Well, remember, they got the
the
they get the
50,000?
tangible tax relief too. I think that's why it's hard to calculate, right?
All right.
Because you don't know how many of those businesses that are there own the commercial, so.
So we have no way of identifying who actually owns their business and who, like property, like the actual building itself versus how many lease?
We do, but I would have to do a whole, like, I can do it.
So we could
It's-
do it,
Yes.
but, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I would have to pull all the commercial and then see who the current owner is and run that against all of our businesses and go from there.
Well, that may be something to do going
the
forward, and
future, yeah.
also planning ahead for the loss of income from tangibles and things, so.
Right.
You know, looking at the big picture, that might be something we want to do as a study, right? To really kind of get a grasp of what we're doing to and for the
Going
commercial
forward.
properties, right? And the other thing would be, do we know if our rate is generous and would increase maybe people wanting to come here? Or are we retaining existing people because it's a good rate? So these are all questions I think that, you know, we really need to kind of delve into to make a good determination.
I just don't wanna see in future years, because everything is like tangible, you have an exemption. I just don't wanna see it all get hit onto real estate.
Oh,
So-
absolutely, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm okay with it going across the board, but I don't feel like one category or the other should,
Bear the brunt,
yes.
right. Okay. Well,
Any other questions? So we have a motion and a second. Any questions before roll call? Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Ms. Hamilton.
yes.
Mrs. O'Hara. Yes. Mr. Ogier.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
No. So now we just have to record this? Is that all we have to do on this paper, or are we all set?
So I'll do the tax certification once that's run and processed and the bills go to the printer. Once they're out, I record it, and then it goes to the state at the end, mid-August, August 15th.
All right, so that's it?
So,
Okay.
do we let people know ahead of time that maybe they didn't watch this movie tonight with their popcorn?
So,
Is it are we gonna put something in the
Yeah,
paper?
I
Okay.
can have, I can ask Brianne, the town administrator's assistant, to put it on the website and into the newsletter.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if we post it in the paper.
No, probably,
I don't,
You have it in the
No.
past.
you don't
I
have
don't
to, no,
think-
but just,
yeah.
you know, have
No.
some place where we can refer people if they call us.
Yeah, usually it's in the website and the town
Yeah.
newsletter. And I have to go back and let the state know of our new rates too, our new cert.
Okay, so,
Thank you.
motion to
You're
adjourn?
welcome.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
thank you,
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
thank you.